Good evening, everyone. So, thank you very much for coming here. So, today we are going to discuss about the Kashibharadvaja Sutta. I think you are familiar with this sutra because when we refer the Paritta book, protection book, this sutta is included in the Paritta book. So, this is very simple sutra. So, I think just reading you can easily understand this sutra, but the intention that I chose to this sutra because personally I like this sutra. The reason you may have read novels. When you read novels, the characters, right, they are living in the novel, right? So in the same way, when we read this sutra, the Buddha is living in this sutra, right? That's why this sutra is important, because in this sutra, Buddha is living, right? So that's why I chose this sutra. So you can understand then how the Buddha is, how his behavior, how his conduct, how he addressed the people, his compassion, how he solved the problems, right? So kind of things we can understand. So this sutra is mainly included in the Samyutta Nikaya. So the sutra we can see in the Paritta book because it's been taken from the main resource is the Samyutta Nikaya. So to understand, I will briefly narrate the story, and after that I will explain the Dhamma facts included in this sutra. So on one occasion, the Blessed One was living in the Dakkinagiri monastery, just like BMV, right? The Buddha was living at Dakkinagiri Vihara. So the Brahmana, there was a Brahmana village, it's called Ekanala, right? So it is in the Magadha province. So this time was sowing season, the planting season. So there was a Brahman, he is called Bharadwaja. His name was Kashibharadvaja because he had lot of paddy fields, Kashibharadvaja. So every morning the Buddha see his insight, today to whom to help me, to whom get my assistance, get my help. So when he see his insight, he saw today I can help the Kashibharadvaja. So he get dressed and taking his robe and bowl went to where the Kashibharadvaja was working, right? So at that time there were about 500 peasants were working in that paddy field by using by using plow and yoke oxen. So during the breakfast time, the food distribution time, the Buddha went to the where Kashibharadvaja was feeding the foods to his workers. So we will see what will happen next. I have highlight the important incidents. So just seeing the Buddha, Kashibharadvaja was upset because Brahmanas are very angry with the Buddha, the Shramana, right? They are not. They don't like the Shramana, even the Buddha. So seeing the Buddha, Kashibharadvaja was upset. Early in the morning, he has come to beg, right? That's why he was upset. So seeing the Buddha, Kashibharadvaja say, Ahanko samana kasamicha vapamicha kasitvacha vapitvacha bunjami. Twampi samana kasasucha vapasucha kasitvacha vapitvacha bunjasuti. The Kashibharadvaja address the Buddha recluse. During that time, when someone want to blame or insult the clergyman, the monk, what they used? Shramana, right? Mudu Samana. Mudu means the bare head, right? They insult the Buddha. How? The recluse. Oh recluse, I plow and sow. Having plowed and sown, I eat. You too, recluse, should plow and sow. Having plowed and sown, you should eat. You have, normally we say, you have both hands, you can earn money, you can you can earn money and you can get the things, and right, likewise. So why are you begging? Why are you coming to us? You can earn money and earn food and eat. So like me, you can work hard, right? So then the Buddha replied him, Ahampiko brahmana kasamicha vapamicha kasitvacha vapitvacha bunjasamiti. Brahmana, I too plow and sow. Having plowed and sown, I eat. Right? So, hearing this, Kashibharadvaja was perplexed. He was confused. Why? Because he have never seen recluse are working or plowing or sowing to reap the harvest. So then Kashibharadvaja, the Brahmana, asked, Nakopana mayam passama bhoto gotamasa yugangva nangalangva palangva pachanangva balivadova. Master Gautama, you say you are a farmer, you cultivate, but we don't see the Master Gautama's yoke or plowshare, goad or oxen, right? These things are important to cultivate during those times, the ancient time, not today. We have today machines and those things. So earlier ancient times, if you want to cultivate, we need oxen, the yoke, plowshare, goad, oxen. If you are not familiar with agriculture, sometimes these words are not familiar with you, right? So, anyway, the Kashibharadvaja asked, if you professed, you claim that you are a farmer, then where is your yoke, plow and plowshare? Right, then again he asked, Kassako patijanasi nacha passamate kasing, kasinno puchito bruhi yatha jane mute krasing. Earlier I said, you claim to be a plowman, but we don't see your plowing. Being asked, tell us about your plowing so that we may know your plowing. The Master Gautama, you claim, you profess that you are the good farmer. But we don't see anything, the plow or plowshare, goad, oxen, anything, right? So, if you are a good farmer, show me your oxen, your plowshare, show me, right? The Buddha, the earlier part of this sutra, it's not important, but not too important because it's the narration, right? Now is the Dhamma point, right? Now we have come to the point. Especially, I personally like this two stanza. So, after reciting this stanza, I will explain one Dhamma point by one point. So, Saddha bijan tapo vutti panyame yugan hangalam hirisa mano yottang satime pala pachanam. Confidence is my seed, austerity is my rain, wisdom is my yoke and plow, same is my fall, mine is my yoke tie, and mindfulness is my plowshare and goad. So, Shraddha, you are very familiar with this word, but in English, the word that they used, confidence, but this is not included the real meaning, Shraddha. Normally we can say the conviction. Conviction is better than the confidence, right? So Shraddha is the one who go repute the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha with understanding they have the good faith, they have the understand the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Not the person, the virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, right? If someone going refute the virtues of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, they have the Shraddha. If someone have, there are some people, they offer something, they meditate, they are observe precept, they are doing so many things, but they don't have the understand. Why? Always you must question, why do I do this, right? Why should I do this? When you offer dana, you must have a knowledge, the effect and cause. By giving or by offering something, what would you get? Why I am offering something? There are so many people in the world, we can offer anyone. But why we choose the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, the triple gem, to offer something? Likewise, we should understand the reason why we are doing this. So with understanding, if someone go refute Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, they have the real faith, right? As well as it should be, if you have the Shraddha, it's stable, it's not unchangeable. The reason you think that I make a mistake. When I make a mistake, if you angry with the whole Mahasangha, with the Sangha community, do you have the Shraddha? No. If one person make a mistake, it's his own mistake. It's my mistake. It's not the Sangha mistake. Sangha means not a single person, individual one. Sangha is the represent the virtues. The Buddha is not one person. The Buddha is the 9 qualities, right? Buddha means the whole collection of 9 qualities, right? The Dhamma is whole collection of 6 qualities, right? Likewise. So if you have the Shraddha, you do everything with understanding. You can see the people, they worship. If you have the Shraddha, whatever you do, if you offer something, you offer the dana or something else with wholeheartedly, right? Wholeheartedly. If you offer even a flower, you offer it very faithfully, right? There are some people, they worship. They don't know how to worship. They are very difficult to get the palm to their forehead. When we worship to the Buddha, we should get the palm to the forehead or near to the chest. There are some people, they palm keep on their legs, right? They are not most important thing, but the people who have the real Shraddha, the real faith, they indicate we can see when they behave, right? When they speak, when they worship, whatever they do, right? They try to do everything beautifully, glamorously, right? So that's the importance of Shraddha. Shraddha is the first step to enter the Buddhism, right? Each and every teaching of the Buddha, when you refer the Buddhism, the Buddhist sutras or something, you may come across the word Shraddha, right? If you have the Shraddha, you will offer or you will meditate or you will respect or venerate or everything you do just because of your Shraddha, right? If you don't have the Shraddha, you are not engaged with meritorious deeds. Never, right? So that's why Shraddha is important. So if you offer even a flower, you should keep in this mind. If you offer even a flower to the Buddha, you offer it with wholeheartedly. If you offer something, even a small piece of something to the Mahasangha or to the Buddha Sasana, you offer it with wholeheartedly, right? Whatever you do, even you worship, meditate, whatever, you do it wholeheartedly with great confidence, right? Then that confidence you will lead to the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. This is the first step, right? Then next move on to the next teaching. The reason in this sutra, the Buddha is comparing. Because earlier Kashibharadvaja asked, if you are a farmer, where is your plow, plowshare, yoke, goad, oxen? Where are they? If you are a farmer, you must have these things. I have oxen, yoke, plowshare. Now where is your the agricultural tools? Then Buddha say, Shraddha bijan tapoti. Shraddha is my seed. If you want to plant or cultivate or something, the first thing we need is seed. Without seed, what would we get? So the Shraddha is my seed. The thing that I cultivate is Shraddha, right? By cultivating Shraddha, I get harvest, I reap harvest, right? That's the Buddha. The Buddha preach regularly how to he cultivates realm of his mind, right? Realm of mind. So the Shraddha bijan tapoti. The seeds can be divided into two parts, the fertile and futile. The fertile seeds we can get good result. We cannot get a good result by planting the futile, useless, right? Useless seeds. So if you have a good Shraddha, you can lead your life to the best result. Then what is the Buddha's the first thing? Seed. The seed is Shraddha, right? So then Buddha explained, Panyame yuganangalam. My wisdom is my yoke and plow. Yoke. You know yoke? Later I will show you an animation video, like a cartoon. Then you will realize the what you couldn't understand things, right? So don't hesitate about the words. The yoke and plow. You must focus on the words Shraddha, Prajna, right? Those are the things you must understand. The wisdom. Then Buddha cultivates Shraddha. Then the Buddha say, wisdom is my yoke and plow. Panyame yuganangalang hiri samano yoktam. I missed one thing. Saddha bijan tapo. Second one, austerity is my rain. First, I plant the seed, then I practice. Practice is the rain. I cultivate Shraddha, then I practice it. Without practicing, whether you have Shraddha, there is no point whether you have Shraddha if you not practice. We must practice if we have the Shraddha. The practice is master. Right? How much should we practice? How much? If we want to achieve something, how much should we practice? How much? Until we get that job, until that success, right? So this word is very important. If you practice something, you must practice it until your job is successful, right? If you want to achieve something, there's no point stop it the middle, right? So if you want to achieve something, you must practice it until your job is success, right? That's why the Buddha is imply in this here. So as well as there's no point cultivating seed if we cannot water to the seed, right? What will happen if we water more to the seed? It's also useless. If we water something to the more than what they need, it's useless. And practice also same. If we practice more and more day by day, it is not useful. We should practice the necessary, according to we can, right? So if we lose our practice, right? If we don't practice enough, it is also useless. So we must practice the middle path, right? Not too much, not too little, right? The middle path, right? You may have heard self-mortification, Attagila Yoga and Kama Sukhalika Yoga. So we should get rid of those two the practices, and we should lead our life the middle path, right? So the austerity is my reign, practice is my reign. Then Buddha moved into the wisdom, my yoke and plow, right? This very important. The similes the Buddha has used is very important. He never used anything meaningless things, because the wisdom and yoke and plow, right? The very similar. If you have the wisdom, the prajna, what will happen by using plow? Plow, what will we do? By using plow, we chain the soil. The soil we chain, right? Likewise, the using wisdom, when bad thoughts appear in our minds, we using our wisdom, we fight with those bad thoughts, right? And then transform them into good thoughts, right? By through the wisdom we can do it, right? As well as we need the hiri, right? This is the path from beginning to advance. First step to the last step, the Buddha has explained this sutta, how to cultivate our mind. First is Shraddha, then practice, then Prajna, then Hiri. Hiri means shame, the Lajja. There are two things that govern the world, right? These things are self-control things. We all have the same, right? And according to our role, if you are a professor, if you are a teacher, if you are a doctor, according to your job, your role, you try to control yourself, right? If you are a teacher, you are not going to smoke or drink or in front of the student, right? You are not speaking harsh word, bad words in front, right? Why? Because you have the same, right? As a monk, I'm not try to behave badly, because the shame is within myself, right? Everybody has the shame. If we don't have the shame, we do whatever we like, right? The person who hasn't the shame, he do whatever he does. You may have seen that type of people. They do whatever. They don't care about what they do or what they show. They don't care about how do they wear, right? Right? When they enter the temple, they wear what they want, right? So if you have the hiri, you automatically control yourself, right? That's the important thing. So saddha bijan tapo utti panya me yuganangalang hirisa manoyattang sati me phala pachanang. The sati means what? Mine is my yoke tie, right? The mine is yoke tie, the strap, right? Around to control the oxen, we use the strap, right? The mind is important. When our mind go wrong way, wrong direction, the mind is useful to get the proper attention. So likewise, when the oxen are try to go here and there, we can use the strap to hold them, right? Likewise, the mind is very important to when we are distracted or something else, we can using mind, we can concentrate ourselves. So as well as then next one, mindfulness, my plowshare and God, right? This word is very familiar with you, right? The mindfulness. In Pali, sati. In Sanskrit, what's called? Smriti, right? Sati, smriti, right? So the mindfulness is my plowshare and goad. What you call? The oxen try to go the wrong way. The farmer get the goad, the cane or stick, and he not allowed to go to they want. the farmer can control the oxen, right? Likewise, mindfulness is the awareness. I have a story to share with you. It's you may know the Dhyana Buddhism. Dhyana Buddhism. The Buddhism that explain the Buddhism with stories, right? There I came across a story. It's not teaching about the Buddha concept, right? I'm going to tell about the Buddha concept. One day, a young man wanted to meet the Buddha. Who is the Buddha? He wanted to meet the Buddha. Who is Buddha? He was thinking and he wanted to meet the Buddha. He entered the monastery, right? Who is he looking for? The Buddha. And he entered to the monastery to look for the Buddha, right? When he entered the monastery, there was a monk who was fetching water. And the young man went to him and asked, I came here to meet the Buddha. I want to meet the Buddha. Where is Buddha? Then that monk told the young man, I am the Buddha. Then the young man was surprised and perplexed. Why? Does Buddha fetch water? Then the monk said, the Buddha not only fetch water, wash clothes, clean room, even we need the cook. When we need the cook, we have to wood split, right? Even not only fetch water, I wash clothes, I clean my room, everything I do. Not only now, before becoming a monk, I did everything. Then what the difference? The layman and having become a monk. The young man asked the monk. Earlier also, actually you think about the Buddha's life. Didn't the Buddha do those things? Didn't Buddha wash his clothes? Didn't he clean his room? So we don't think about those things. The Buddha is like a God person. He doesn't do anything. He's always wearing a robe and he radiant around his body. We think like that. But the Buddha is also a person just like us, but his mind he has cultivated the maximum level. As human being, we are the only human, the beings that can cultivate our mind up to the maximum level. Others cannot, even animals cannot cultivate up to maximum level, because we have the potential, the ability to tune our mind to the Dhamma. That's the important thing, to be the reborn as the human being. As an animal, when we speak them, when we call them, they can understand, but they cannot understand the Dhamma. The radio, then we tune the radio according to the frequency. Likewise, we can tune our mind, understand the Dhamma. Right? That's capacity, we have that capacity. That's why the human life is most important than other life. Even the God, even Brahman, even the man in the world cannot do that. Only human being can understand and tune his mind to the Dhamma. That's why we are important. That's why important to being the reborn as a human, right? So the story, we will move to the story. The monk tells that the young boy, even before becoming a monk, I did these things, but even now I do the same thing. No different, right? But there is one different. I am doing these things with how? With mindfulness. Earlier I wash my clothes, I clean my room, I talk with people, I did everything do now, right? But I didn't have one thing, that is mindfulness, the awareness. I didn't thought when I cleaned my room, I didn't thought I was not aware I am cleaning my room. I'm right. Now I have the awareness. I have the mindfulness. Now I know what I am doing. So that awareness was not lead me to the bad things because of the awareness. So that's why it's important. Then kaya gutto, vachi gutto, ahare udareyato, saccang karo minidhanan sorachamme pamochana. Okay. Now Shraddha, Tapo, Prajna, Hiri, Sati, using these the excellent virtues, excellent qualities, we cultivate our mind. But that cultivation is not enough. If we do these things, you may think that I offer once a week offer dana. On 4 days I come to the temple and observe seal. So you think like that. But there is no point to doing those things if you do these things. Right? What's that? Kaya gutto, vachi gutto. You have to refrain from him and abstain from these things. Kaya gutto, the bad things that happen your body, your mouth, your mind. We should control them. There's no point you have accumulated a lot of merit. You waste your merits by doing this, right? So if you have accumulated merits, you must try to save them for your rebirth and for your benefits. Don't use to doing these things. Kaya gutto, vachi gutto, ahare udareyato. Kaya gutto, what are the bad things we do using our body? Killing, stealing, and bad sexual misconduct and intoxicating, right? So those things we are doing using body. Then vachi gutto, what are the bad things we do using the mouth? And slander, then lie, then the frivolous talk, useless, meaningless talk we are doing. But if you do these things more and more, you waste your merit. Right? It's just like similar, you cultivate the field, paddy field, but you don't protect. If you don't protect the things that you cultivate, what will happen? The animals come and destroy it. And in the same way, the thing that you have cultivated, that you have accumulated, that rewarded, you waste, right? So you must be aware not to do this. Right? So you must be refrain and abstain the things, the how to use body, how to use mind, how to use your mouth. And ahare udareyato. You must be aware when you eating. Right? We should live to eat. Or eat to live. What would you do? Eat to live. But when we eat, we don't think about that. We should eat to live. Right? If we eat more and more, we cannot concentrate our mind, we cannot keep the awareness and mindfulness, right? So the Buddha has also he has been awareness about this thing, but we see his wisdom, right? And saccang karomi niddhanan sorachamme pamochana. When we cultivate the paddy field, in course of the time, the weeds are come up, right? Whatever we protect, how we protect, the weeds are come up. Likewise, how much merits we have accumulated, we are not the arahant one. We are the lay person, right? We are attached with the various things. Any time we can make a mistake, right? Whenever the opportunity come up, we make a mistake, secretly or openly, right? So as well as here the Buddha implied that kaya gutto, vachi gutto, just like the cultivation, the weeds are come up in due course. Likewise, we do some bad things when the time is come. When time comes, we do bad things. But I use a weed cutter. What's that? The being truthfulness, I I cut that's the being truthfulness is my weed cutter. Being truthfulness, I stop the things that happen in my mouth. I talk the things that I talk in my mouth. I stop those things. So that's the things. Then Viriyam me duradorahiyang yoga kemadi vahanang gachanti anivattantan yattagantwana sochati. So Viriyam me duradoyayam. You use oxen, right? Your strength. Now you don't forget the story. The conversation between the Kashibharadvaja and the Buddha. Now the Buddha explained to the Kashibharadvaja, my strength. Your strength is your oxen. Your burst of being. They are the birds, the oxen. They carry the plow and plowshare, all the things. Your strength is the oxen, but the strength, my power, my effort is the what you call the Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Aja, Samma Vayama. Right effort is my strength. You may have seen if you watch the Tamil movie or something, normally we use 2 oxen to plow. If you want to accelerate if you want to the plow very fast, what would you do? We use 4 oxen. Likewise, Brahmana, when I want to accelerate my path to the Nibbana during my bodhisattva time, I work hard. How? With my 4 efforts. What are the 4 efforts? These 4 efforts are very important. So the type and I thought to show you. You have learned because you are participating for the sutra class. So I saw you were taught in this right effort. We should strive to 4 things. Avoiding and preventing the arising of unwholesome states and unskillful thoughts which have not arisen. The bad thoughts that have not yet arisen. We should try to suppress those things. Then abandoning unwholesome states and unskillful thoughts which have already arisen. The bad thoughts that already have arisen, we should try to suppress or destroy them, right? Then we should make effort to cultivate in developing and bringing forth wholesome states and skillful thoughts which have not arisen. At the beginning we should do the bad thought that has not arisen, we should suppress. The bad thought that has already arisen, we should to destroy, as well as the good qualities that has not yet arisen, we should cultivate it. The good qualities that already you have, the exit, you must maintain, right? Very easy to start, very easy to end, but very difficult to practice and maintain, sustain something, right? So we must strive to, we should we should try to maintain the things, already you have good qualities, you are a good person. So those good qualities you must be maintained, right? So then this sutra is very interesting because each Dhamma point is very different and these are interrelated, just like a stair, right? So step by step. So Viriyam me duradorahiyam yoga kema divana. Cultivating likewise to where Buddha lead. The Buddha lead to the yoga kema divana. Yoga kema means another name to the Nibbana, right? The Nibbana has lot of names. Amurta, Nibbana, Sivang, there are so many names for the Nibbana. So here, yoga kema divahanam gacchanti anivattantam yatta gantwana sochati. Apart, my beast of burden which carries me across to safety from bondage, it goes ahead without stopping to where having gone, one does not sorrow. So, up to now, so far, the Buddha explained how to cultivate his mind, the realm of his mind, right? How to make the environment to plant a seed, the Shraddha, right? The how to make the environment, right? So the Buddha explained so far. So before moving to the next part, we will watch the animation video up to now, right?
At that time, it was sowing season. Brahman Kashibharadvaja had 500 plows yoked to oxen working his land. Then, in the early morning, the Blessed One went to where Kashibharadvaja was working, and food distribution was underway for the peasants. On arrival, the Blessed One stood to one side holding his arms full. When Kashibharadvaja saw the Blessed One standing for alms, he said conceitedly,
"Recluse, I plow and sow. Having plowed and sown, I eat. You too, recluse, should plow and sow. You eat after having plowed and sown."
The Buddha replied, "I too, Brahman, plow and sow. Having plowed and sown, I eat."
But we don't see the Master Gautama's yoke or plow, plowshare, goat or oxen. And yet the Master Gautama claims he plow and sow.
Then Kashibharadvaja spoke in verse.
"A plowman you claim to be, but your plowing we do not see. Do tell us about your plowing, so that we may know your plowing."
The Buddha replied in verse, "Faith is my seed, austerity my rain, wisdom my yoke and plow, modesty my pole, mind the strength, mindfulness is my plowshare and goad. Guarded in body, guarded in speech, restrained in food, I make truth the weed cutter, and enlightenment my deliverance. Exertion my beast of burden, bearing me toward Nibbana, takes me without turning back to where, having gone, one does not grieve. That is how I plow. It has deathlessness as its fruit. Thus plowed, one is unyoked from all suffering."
Right. So at the beginning, the Kashibharadvaja was not happy to offer the breakfast to the Buddha. At the beginning, he didn't go refuge to the Buddha at the beginning. So after explaining how he cultivated his mind, he was realized, I am not a farmer, I am just a farmer. The Buddha is just indeed a real farmer. The Kashibharadvaja realized. Then having realized that, he wanted to offer the milk rice or porridge to the Buddha. So then he was ready to offer the milk rice to the Buddha. Then Buddha, what would he do? He rejected, but not the harshly, the gently rejected. You could have offered if you have the Shraddha or something, if you wanted to offer the milk rice for me, you could have offered it at the beginning. But now you offer this, not only those things offer me, not for me. You offer because you offer this by listening the verses, right? Not for me. Just like if you, here the Buddha explains nicely in Pali, Gata Bigita Me Abhojaneyam, right? Buddha is not a person who the Buddha is not a person the getting or receiving something by entertaining others. The Buddha is not a person who entertaining. The Buddha is not an entertainer, right? You offer this dana for me now by listening the verses. You entertain, you enjoy, right? So the Buddha explained that Gata Gitang me abhojaneya. Food received by reciting instance is not fit to be eaten by me. Brahmin, it is not the nature, right? By reciting Gatha, get the offering is not the ritual of the Buddha, right? The Buddha don't like it. So the Buddha explained him, if you want to offer the milk rice for me, you could have offered it at the beginning, but you are offering it now. It's not for me. Because you enjoy the listening the verses, that's why you offer it. So I am not ready to offer receive it. The Buddha gently reject it. Then the Kashibharadvaja asked, to whom then Master Gautama should I offer this? Then Buddha replied, in all over the world, no one is able to. No, there is anyone who can able to offer this. Even the Brahmas, Maras, even the lay person, no one. Because you must think, there is a story here. If someone offers something only for the Buddha, right? We make the Buddha puja for the Buddha. That's offered to the Buddha. Normally, we know the Buddha puja is not eat. We should not eat the Buddha puja. Why is it? It's a veneration. But there's another story behind it. Normally now we offer, when we take perform the Buddha puja, we gave it to the animals or something. But here the Buddha implied that indicate no one is suitable for to eat this milk rice rejected by the Buddha, right? You should keep this, throw away the water or the ground without beings, any beings, animals, right? If you had better throw away to the water, there is no animal. If you throw it away the ground, no animal, insects, right? If insect or something else, someone eat it, no one can digest. That's why, right? If you offer something for only Buddha, this is not valid for today. During the Buddha's time, if someone offer, you may know the first dana offered to the Buddha, the Princess Sujata. Princess Sujata was the first lady who offered to the Buddha. It was supposed to get enlightenment. After the enlightenment, first dana was given by Princess Sujata. So that was consumed by only Buddha. Because if someone offered to the Buddha puja only for him, the God, according to legend or commentary, the devas come and add the amurta, ambrosia, right? It's used by the devas, add to the Buddha. As well as the last meal given by the Buddha, to give the Buddha, Tunda Kammara Buddha, he offered something to the Buddha. It's called pork, or some people argue that it is the mushroom, right? So whatever, the Buddha consume it little bit, and the Buddha take to it, and the Buddha told that throw it away, right? No one should consume it, because the meals that offer to the Buddha, not Sangika. When someone makes Sangika dana, offer Sangika dana, it's include Buddha and all Mahasangha. But this is a private dana, only for Buddha. It is not consumed by anyone, because no one cannot digest it, because the God come and put the amurta according to the the commentary, we can learn it, right? So I thought to share it with you, but it is not valid for today, right? We can give it to animal or someone, right? So that's the behind the story. And then the Kashibharadvaja, according to the instruction of Buddha, the bowl of the bronze bowl of the milk rice, he put onto the river without there was no the fish or someone. Then put onto the bowl of milk, like onto the water. What would happen? The steam and smoke and steam. It's mentioned in the Pali very nicely, right? We will see how is in Pali. Here Palo Diva Udake Pakito. Udaka means water. Udake Pakito, when put into the water, chichitayati. The sound, you must familiar with sound. Chichitayati, sandupayati, sampadhupayati. Eva meva so payaso udake pakito, chichitayati, chitichitayati, sandupayati, sampadhupayati. Have you heard this sound? Chichitayati? The ladies are familiar with this, the sound. When you cook, when you fry something, you add the seeds, what you call scissor or something. So they are blasted, right? When put into the oil, they blast. That sound, right? Chichitayati, chitichitayati, sandupayati. Chichitayati means the sound. The sandupayati and sampadupayati means is steam and smoke. The bronze bowl of milk rice, when put into the water, it chichitayati, chatas, right? And the smoke and steam, right? So then what would happen? The Bharadwaja was frightened, alarmed, right? Here the incident is mentioned. The Kashibharadvaja, alarmed, with his hair standing on end, right? Went to the Blessed One, fell to hit his head at the Blessed One, kneel down, and he do everything what he can do, because now he is frightened, right? Fell his head and at the Blessed One and sacred feet, and said to the Blessed One, Abhikantam Bhogotam. I personally interest in this part, because this part, if you go through the sutra more and more regularly, you may find this part. Abhikantam Bhogotam, Seyyatapi Bhogotam, Nikkujitam wa Ukuja. Very glorious, right? This part is the use by the people at that time, like you. When Buddha preached Dhamma, they listen, and after listening Dhamma, they come and comment the Buddha. After listening the Dhamma, the people come and comment the Buddha, how was his Dhamma sermon, right? Even today, when monk come and when speech, people come. During that time, happened the same thing. This part is included at the end of the most of the sutra. That's why Abhikantam Bhogotam. Wow, we say wow, right? Likewise, Abhikantam Bhogotam, magnificent Master Gautama, magnificent. Right? Wow, likewise. Right? Abhikantam Bhogotam. They are overjoyed, right? They are in 8, 9 heaven, like, right? 7. Right? Abhikantam Bhogotam, Seyyatapi Bhogotam, Nikkuchitangwa. Now, Kashibharadvaja explained the Buddha how he feel after listening his Dhamma. How he satisfy and how he enjoy within himself. The feeling that he feel, he expressed by words now, right? What are the words? We see the similes that he used. Seyyata Bhoga Nikkujitangwa Ukujita. Nikkujitangwa Ukujaya. Just as the pot set upright, the pot upright, what was overturned. Just as a man were to set upright what was overturned. The Master Gautama, you overturn a pot what was you set upright what was overturned, upright, right? As well as you reveal what was hidden. I feel that way by listening you, because I was in the darkness. You saw me the light, right? His expression, his gratitude, right? He glorified the Buddha's the Buddha's sermons, right? He glorified you to reveal what was hidden, to show the way to ones who were lost. Just as how if someone go astray or go wrong way, you saw the correct way. This is the wrong way. This is the right way, and you saw the direction for me. Before I was going astray, going wrong, you saw me the correct way, and now then he saw another similar. Andakareva telapajjo tandareya. If someone going in the darkness at night, he may affect the serpent or something bad animal. So you gave me a light like torch, like right. You gave me a light for me to don't go at darkness. Follow this light. You can help. It will be helpful for you. Likewise, your Dhamma sermon was helpful me, right? So now I realize the truth. So he thanked the Buddha. He glorified the Buddha. So and the end of the sutra, it's mentioned that the Buddha, the Kashibharadvaja went refuge the Buddha, and he seek the refuge of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and he wanted to become a monk. So at the end of this sutra, it's been mentioned that here, I go refuge to the Master Gautama, to the Dhamma and to the community of Sangha. Let me obtain novice ordination and higher ordination in the presence of the monk. I want to become a monk. I need a novice and higher ordination in presence of the Master Gautama. So in this way, in due course, not very far, very near, the Kashibharadvaja had obtained the novice ordination and the higher ordination, and by practicing the way, according to the teaching, now the Buddha explained, he practiced it. By practicing in very, very near, he attained the arahathood. So that is the story related to the Kashibharadvaja Sutra. So this sutra, they explain us how to cultivate our mind. So today we talk about the Kashibharadvaja Sutra. So the important thing we should think that we should concentrate about the things. We talk about the faith as well as the practices. The we will let's see. Faith is my seed. Austerity is my rein, wisdom is my yoke and plough, modesty or shame is my fall, mine is strap, mindfulness is my plowshare and goad. So now you must think that you must understand Kashibharadvaja was a farmer, but he had the knowledge, but he did not have the devoted, the good heart about the Buddha, right? He didn't understand the Buddha's qualities and Buddha's teaching. So at the beginning he was mad at the Buddha, angry at the Buddha, but by understanding Dhamma he could attain the arahanthood, right? So as this sutra we can get the benefit that we must have these qualities, because the sutra explains the excellent qualities that we should cultivate our mind. So the mind is the foremost thing to change our mind, right? If we want to change, first we change our mind, how we think. The one thought can change our whole life, right? So if you have these qualities, what would you do? You should maintain it. If you don't have even one or two things within yourself, you must cultivate, develop within yourself, right? So day by day, cultivating these things. If you think it is difficult, but if you practice something day by day within 1, 2, 3 weeks, it's become a habit. Then it's no longer difficult to you. So if you think that this is important, this is interesting, you can get something from yourself, and you can build up yourself. So if you have any question regarding this sutra, if you didn't understand, you can raise your question.
It started basically with something like 8 Hofat. We must have a right view first. Then from that, thoughts is always coming to our mind. We don't know these thoughts may be good or bad. So how we filter it, a decision based on the thoughts. So from these thoughts, right, we haven't put into actions. So in order to convey the thoughts, is our actions now through our speech. You know, you want to convey your inner self, maybe the environment to your people. And also from this action, right, from this speech, right, then maybe you can translate into actions. You act on it, you see. Now the outcome of action or not, we don't know. But we make an effort like a cow kind of thing. We try to cultivate it. At some point, right, our decision may be very bad. So we want to basically retract back kind of thing. Then we have to understand, use the plot, how to track back so we're on the right path. So that we got to concentrate ourselves, be mindful that, hey, maybe this part I'm doing is harmful, it's not wholesome, it's counterproductive. It apply in my business kind of decision making also. Sometimes I make a decision be affecting the profitabilities of a company or the morals of the staff. So I believe from this plot, right, by training myself through these dharmas and mindfulness and meditation, sometimes I have to close my eyes, take a brief breath, see the surrounding. Am I making a right decision? Maybe nothing is too late, but we have to be basically refocus back, to recapture back. Then from this capturing, closing our mind, be mindfulness, then we have create that wisdom. From this wisdom, right, then we build to become a leader that people respect. Hey, this person, when he talk with sense. He made a mistake, he took us to the right path. I'm actually a project manager, a project director, handling few thousands of workers, that kind of thing. Every day I'm facing all these kind of decisions. So this mindfulness, the process actually is applicable in everyday's life. I think it's a very good example how we plot a cloud, all those elemental things that make the seed grow. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I will advise you in simple way. So we cannot do anything. We should not start advanced level, right? We should start something the beginning, right? The first thing that the Buddha has advised us to, first we should listen to the Dhamma. When you listen more and more, you acquire knowledge. We normally know there is a quotation, the knowledge is power. Actually, knowledge is power. If you don't have the knowledge regarding the previous talk, the Dhamma talk, I indicate you the having the knowledge of anicca. Anicca is not just impermanent. The knowledge, right? Anicca is a knowledge, right? If we have the knowledge, we don't attach with something, right? Likewise, we can apply that teaching to everything, right? If you are face something problem, that's if you attach something, that means you have not enough knowledge, right? Right. So you should do what you do is you should listen more and more and then learn. Finally, you try to practice. Don't go to practice first, right? Then if you start practice first, you don't know what you practice. Whether it may be sometimes, fortunately, the right, but unfortunately it may be wrong. So you collect the knowledge, right? the listening and reading, everything. And if you feel it, the right, if you feel the healness within yourself, if you feel the heal, don't do anything. When someone asks you to or force you to do, don't do this. Anyone or anything. So if you feel the healness, if you feel if you feel within yourself that it is good or something, right? You can cultivate it, right? Actually, the mind is mix of the bag. It has the bad thoughts, good thoughts. It's mixed. If we have the awareness, then mindfulness, we can choose this one, right? And we should observe when thoughts come up to our mind, we should observe these thoughts is bad. Without not having the awareness, we get angry, we get jealousy, right? Normally when we get sick illness, we get medicine by consulting the doctors. As well as anger is the sickness, jealousy is the sickness. It is called mental sickness. The mind is also get sick, right? That is called mental sickness. We normally say anger, let's say anger, jealousy, ill will. Those we take as bad thoughts, but they are sickness, right? Sickness. We should take the medicine for it. The medicine is the learning Dhamma and practicing it, and right? I think the answer is enough for you, right? Thank you.
Okay, I think you made an important statement just now. Knowledge is powerful, very powerful. You have to collect knowledge, gain knowledge, before you do the practice. I think that was actually what was mentioned there earlier. Saddha and then, austerity, the rain is austerity, which is practice. I think a lot of people tend to do the opposite. They jump into meditation and, that kind of practices as opposed to getting knowledge first. So is it really necessary not to practice meditation and go and listen to Dhamma talks first? Or is it simultaneously you do both? Which is which?
Right. So people believe that the misinterpretation and misconcept are everywhere, right? Then now you think that if common professor sit here, when he proposes something, when you claim he's something, you believe more than me because he has a good title, right? If someone practice within his experience, tell you something, but you not the believe it or trust it because he has no title or something, right? So we are given the priority to the titles, right? So you must try to, the answer was I given the best. So if you feel the healness, if you must feel that. If you don't feel the good thing, it doesn't matter whether you practice meditation. If you practice meditation with difficulty, you get nothing because you must desire, you must practice with interesting, right? I have a question, answer to you, right? The Buddha, the Prince Siddhartha had everything, the things that you have, but not that you have, that you haven't, the more luxury life, right? But having a luxury life, he didn't satisfy the things he had. And he left everything, and after gain enlightenment, after leaving everything, he was satisfied. He say, there's no one in the world that satisfied more than me. I'm the only one who satisfy everything. But think a moment, where we are going to become the Buddha, attain the Buddha, or attain become the king. We are following the Siddhartha's lay life, right? We are not following the Buddha's life. So we are following the things that the Buddha left. Now, understand? Right. Nowadays, the people are following the things the Buddha left, right? Not the Buddha, the indicate thing, Right. The meditation is, we can practice it various ways, as well as we cannot conduct meditation class at all. It's a totally wrong, because the persons are different to each other. The characters are different. There are 7 characters: Raga, Dvesa, Moha, Saddha, Buddhi, Vitaka. Some are more lustful, some are very angry person. So the Anapanasati is not suitable for everyone. Anapanasati is suitable for the stressful one, right? Anxiety, right? Those kind. Right? Metta, the mind, the loving kindness is suitable for the get angry person, right? If someone more lust, they can concentrate the loathsome meditation. So the person are very lazy. They don't look for anything. They like to someone else come and teach them. No one. The Buddha told us to search this, observe this. King Kusala Gavesi, King Satya Gavesi. You should find this within yourself. Right? You are the person who can save your life. You are responsible for yourself. No one can responsible for me. Right? So if you want to become more arahant, or calm your mind, or heal yourself, you should practice it. You should search for it. If you search for, you will find. Right? Without searching for, you cannot find it anywhere. Right?
My question is, from an individual point of view, as a Buddhist, you were taught about Dharma and mindfulness, but in real life societies, right, the world is different. It's very materialistic. People will go for greed, for money, for power, and some even for controls. So we are actually facing these kind of forces, and sometimes we have to succumb to that just to survive. You know, like sometimes I make decisions because I know morally it's not correct, it's cheating and kind of thing, but for survival we have to go through that kind of process, you see. Now in this kind of situation, I always thought it's like a lotus flower. Lotus flower it grows from the mud, the dirtiest the mud. You will basically get the enrichment from this dirt to become a beautiful lotus flower, is it? So the way I actually counteract this kind of thing is actually, I would try not to make decision when in the fit of anger, or in the fit that I dislike you, let the thing come down, the thing tone down. And the other one is this kind of forces is keep on coming in. So at times I want to react to it, instantaneously. So throughout all those years of training, so I'm basically using the Buddhist practice of, I don't react to your demand or to your I would just slow down, reflect, I would eventually respond to you. But this response sometimes is the decision from the bosses, and they want instantaneous. That is where the pressure always comes in. It is a do or die situation. Even today, I'm also facing this kind of thing. I believe the only way to really get out of this kind of pressure is actually go back to the basics again. Mindfulness, and as you said, your knowledge. And through your experience that you went through that, you fall down before, you try not to repeat it. But at times, our character cannot change. We have tempers, we have this aggression, this kind of frustration coming in. Now, how do we press down this kind of thing to control it instead of let it burst? At some time, the pressure is too much. How we going to handle this crisis management thing?
Okay, we should not try to control something, right? If you get anger, if you get stress, you must keep observe it, right? When you get angry or something, when bad thoughts appear, everything are happening in our life because of thoughts, right? You should keep eye on the thoughts when arise, right? Arise when I will say a story. We have played the game, the hide and seek, right? When the person who hidden in the place, when I met, there's no game hereafter. Likewise, when you the spot the I'm angry, the when you spot the thoughts, then it's disappear, right? The first thing, you must have an ability to spot the thoughts. What kind of thoughts you have? At once you spot the thoughts, it will disappear, right? Because when something happen, we not the spot the thoughts, we continue the thoughts again and again. Not we spot if you can spot the thought, we can disappear it. So any thoughts, right? If you, as well as the things, the problem coming to stress or something, not for us, the reason for us, the environment, the people who associate, everything, the effect for us. So that's why the Buddha advised us to, we must have a good companion. If we have a good companion, we can go our path very easily, right? So we are alone, very difficult to go fast, right? So if you have a good companion, you can discuss with the problems with them, and you can the people, the most people are stressed and they get the anxiety and problem because they have no the good companion to share with these things, right? The people who speak, the more talkative people, they are not stressed, right? They release the stress by talking, right? The people who are introvert, the less speak people, they are very stressed. They think that I can bear everything, but they bear everything, but they waste they burning their mind within themselves, right? So don't try to keep everything in yourself. You try to release the whole thing. The release by releasing everything, you can be released yourself also, right? So two things are the Buddha. You must be like I remember you explained that lotus flower. The more than the flower, the leaf, lotus leaf, it doesn't attach. When you put in the water, this doesn't attach. So whatever thoughts or whatever person you meet, come across, don't attach. Then the nogatima, noalima. There are two things. If you can do these two things, nogatima, the means not to collect, nogatima, confront, not to contract, try to. Nogatima, noalima, not to attach and not to. If you can practice these two things, nogatima, noalima, not to attach and not confront. The happiness is generated in yourself. The attaching and conflicting with others, the things, the around ourselves, the problem, right?
So I think we should end now, almost 10 o'clock. But just one last comment, Bhante. You only can play hide and seek with bad thoughts, not with good thoughts. You only can play hide and seek with demerits. When bad thoughts are rising, you identify the bad thought, then it goes away. So when it's a good thought, you don't want it to go away, you want to cultivate it.
Cultivate, yes, cultivate.
So that's why I say you only can play bad, hide and seek with bad intentions or, demerits.
Yes, right. So as well as all the participants who gathered here to listen to the Dhamma talk today. So may you find happiness and peace and prosperity. So eventually, ultimately, you may be able to attain the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. So we will transfer the merit that we have accumulated by listening the Dhamma for the guardian devas as well as departed one. So they will, by receiving those merit, they will rejoice and they will protect you, support you for yourself, for your journey. So we will transfer the merits by reciting the verses. Akasattha ca bummata deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu loka sasanam. Akasattha ca bummata deva naga mahiddhika පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිत्वा චිරං රක්칸තු ලෝක සාසනං ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවානා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිत्वा චිරං රක්칸තු ලෝක සාසනං ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාත ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ සාදු 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 සබ්බීතියෝ විවජ්ජන්තු සබ්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු මාතේ භවත්වන්තරායු සුඛී දීඝායුකෝ භව භවතු සබ්බ මංගලම් රක්칸තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලම් රක්칸තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලම් රක්칸තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ සංඝානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ